Imagine you're a firefighter, it's a calm evening, and you get a call that a family is trapped in a building. So hey there, sibling, my name is Anita, and my heart's mission is to glorify God and to encourage others to walk boldly in their divine calling. In this channel, we're going to be talking about how to align ourselves to God's purpose, how to grow our relationship with God, and step into the life that Christ has called us to live in purpose. Whatever is going to give God glory, count me in. I'm so excited to share a message that has been heavy on my heart. The King's business requires haste. Yes. So when God calls us to something, there is no room for delay or fear. Whether it's stepping into ministry, starting a business, or just walking in obedience, our response to what God has called us to should reflect a sense of urgency in advancing His kingdom. Imagine you're a firefighter, it's a calm evening, and you get a call that a family is trapped in a building. You pick up your gears without taking twice, and you head straight to the venue. On getting there, you start to doubt yourself. Oh, what if I make a mistake? What if I fail? What if I'm not able to bring them out? What if? And then you realize that this is not about me. It is about saving lives. And without hesitation, you run into the building, guided by the urgency of the mission, and you save those lives. This is exactly how we should approach the work of God. When God calls you to do something, there is no time to be sitting on the sidelines. There's no time to be hesitating. Because when God calls you to do something, He equips you. Yeah, God does not goes about looking for people that are qualified and uses them. I'm not saying it's not good to be qualified, it's not good to work on yourself, but when God calls you, He qualifies you for what He has called you for. So you don't have to fear about that, you don't have to worry about that. You just have to move with a sense of urgency, because hesitation is going to cost life both spiritually and physically. We see over and over again that where God calls people, He doesn't wait for them to be qualified, He qualifies them. And I'm going to share 3 stories in the Bible of people that when God called them, they were not it. But you know, the good thing about God is He's always in the business of picking those that He wants to use and equipping them for the life He has called them to live. Let's talk about David. David was a young shepherd boy that was overlooked even by the members of his household. But when Goliath threatened the Israelites, it was David. David moved with a sense of urgency. He did not hesitate. He was like, who is that uncircumcised Philistine? When others were paralyzed with fear, David was not. Because David knew that this battle was not his battle. This battle was of the Lord. And the Lord that has given him other beers and other things in the past is going to deliver the head of this uncircumcised Philistine to him. And trust me, God really did move. And that victory changed everything in Israel's history. The second person we're going to be talking about is Abraham. Abraham to leave his father's house, leave everything he was familiar with, and go to a land that he would show him. Father Abraham did not even know the destination, but guess what? He moved immediately. And then God gave him a child, and God said, you know what, this is your child that you so love, sacrifice him to me. The next day, Abraham, with immediate effect, Abraham had already taken Isaac to sacrifice him. Like, he moves with a sense of urgency because he knows that the king's business requires haste. Talk about Gideon. When the angel met him at the threshing floor, the angel said, the Lord is with you, mighty man of valor. I'm sure Gideon was like, God, mighty man of valor from where to where? I am the least in my father's house, from the tribe of Manasseh. That was what he said. But the thing is, God wasn't calling Gideon based on who Gideon thinks he is. God was calling Gideon based on who He wants to make him and who He sees him as. Gideon finally obeyed and stepped out in faith. You have to always step out in faith. You are not going to see the full picture, but you are definitely going to trust God that is going to hold your hand and bring to pass what He wants to bring to pass in your life. He stepped out in faith and he defeated the Midianites with 300 men. This was somebody that said, oh, I'm the least in my father's house. The Lord already called him a mighty warrior. God knew that this man has the destiny of a mighty warrior. And though you might not see it, it doesn't change the fact that he has the destiny of a mighty warrior. You might not see the full picture like Abraham, like Gideon, or you may feel too small like David. Here's the truth. God is with you. You have to believe. That's one major way to tap into God's purpose for you. You have to believe that God is going to see you through. And definitely, God is definitely going to see you through. If He has called you to something, best believe it that God is a faithful God, and He will not relent until His prophecy over your life comes to fulfillment, because His words do not return unto Him void. Stop delaying. Don't shortchange yourself. There's so much inside of you that the world is waiting to receive, so much that God has deposited inside of you. Understand that the time to act is now. And if you are thinking, oh, how can I become, you need to make sure that you have a relationship with God. That's the first one. You have a relationship with God, and you are constantly nurturing your relationship. You see the way when you're in a relationship with somebody, you call them, you check up on them, you read text messages from them, you just want to know about them. You need to make sure that you have a relationship with God, and you are constantly studying His word. You are constantly seeking His face in prayer. You're engaging in personal retreat. You are not forsaking the assembly of the brethren, and you're doing everything to please God. Then would you gain confidence. Like I always say, you gain confidence in prayer. When you pray, when you start studying God, or when you start seeing yourself from the lens of Christ, trust me, you become unstoppable. The king's business requires haste, and this is not about you. This is not about me. This is not about what people have to say. This is not about where you're coming from. This is not about your feelings. This is about advancing God's kingdom. And yeah, I always say, you care so much about what people have to say, about where you're coming from, about your feelings, because you've not seen your purpose, your calling as something greater than what people have to say, or something greater than your feelings, or something greater than every other little thing. You have to see your purpose. You have to treat what God has placed on you with reverence. Then and only then would you move with a sense of urgency. So guys, thank you for staying to the end of this video. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you in my next video. Till then, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to drop a comment. Don't forget to share to your loved ones, so everybody you know they are going to need this video. Do not forget to share. We need to spread the word. We need to tell everybody that the king's business requires haste. Love you. Bye.